miss. Again, my name is Leon Williams. I am the author, co-author with Melissa Jordan on this book here, the First Year College Experience Handbook. And this book has been around for at least 5 to 6 years. That's 20 years of higher education combined with Melissa's 10 plus years of higher education. We put together 30 years of advising students and helping them matriculate to graduation. So excited to share this information with you. If you're a student, okay, no matter if you're a high school or headed to college, get a pen and some paper, all right, because we're going to take some notes, do some drawings. This is an interactive book. It's more of a handbook because there's some practical exercises inside this book. So here's the recap from last week, just in case you missed it. We're going to do a little fast break here. All right, one of the things I talked about is you got to have a balanced life as a student, okay? Whether you're in high school or college, you have to have a balanced life. You can't just do all academics, and you definitely can't do all the social life. You have to have a balance in your life. That balance not only includes classes and social media, but it includes exercise. It includes rest. It includes having walks. It includes having conversations, sitting down with your parents, having some alone time, being at peace. If you meditate, meditate. If you pray, you pray. If you fast, you fast. But there are ways for you to keep your body, okay, on a balance, okay? And that's what we want to look for. We want a balanced life, all right? We talked about this last week. Knowing where to study. There are many options, okay? You have to find out what works for you, okay? If you're a high school student, if your room is a distraction, don't study in your room. Find another place in the house to study, okay? Could be the kitchen, could be the living room, okay? Find another place. That includes if you sit on a hard chair or a couch, all right? These are important things because I know if I sit on the couch, I'm asleep. So I can't sit on the couch and study. I got to be in almost an uncomfortable environment for me to really do well. These are some places I've highlighted on a college campus. You really should take advantage of the multiple options. Some students find out the hard way they can't study in a room. Some students find out I cannot study in a library. It's too quiet. I need a cafe. I need a little distraction, but a controlled noise environment. You have to find out what works best for you, for your brain to function and operate at the highest level of performance, okay? We want peak performance times, peak performance. That means I know when my brain is at its best. I have found out in my years, as much as I love studying at night, I'm at my best in the morning, okay? Pretty sharp in the morning. Even though I love staying up at night, okay? That's my body. That's how my brain works, okay? All right, so again, this is just a recap of the multiple places on college campuses to study. Now, we did this last week, and I'm asking those in attendance to do it again here. I want you to draw this horizontal line and this vertical line, okay? On the side, this vertical line is high energy, medium energy, and low energy. Okay, at the base on the horizontal line are times throughout the day. So I want you to put in intervals of 2 hours, 8 a.m. to 12 midnight. So you should put at the base of your graph 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, every 2 hours. And I want you on every 2 hours to put an X, okay, on the graph of where your energy is throughout the day. If you're a morning person, your first X should be up here where high is. And then because we're going every 2 hours at 10 a.m., where's your energy? Put an X there. At 12 noon, where's your energy at 12 noon? Is it low? Is it high? Is it medium? Put an X there. Then at 2 p.m., where's your energy? All right, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. Take it all the way through midnight. High school students, this is very important for you as well. Okay? If you're just now joining us, you're placing an X, okay, on the energy level line, okay, according to your energy throughout the day. And we're going every 2 hours, 8, 10, 12, 2. Now, connect those X's. Draw a line through those X's. My timing is a little bit better because I have some company today. So now I want you to write down your classes based on your schedule. Okay? So here's how it should look. If you got math at 8, write math. Whatever your schedule is, for college students who already have their schedule, you should be able to write in real classes. If you know the times of your classes, you should have that already. College students, the schedules have been released. High school students, you may or may not know your high school schedule, but I want you to write in what class you have at what time you have it. Okay? And I'll put an example up here for you to understand. Here's the big revelation. Okay? And I'm giving you some time to do that because this is participation. All right? We're not going to rush through this. We get our X's in front of you, okay? When it comes to this art class, in this example, this is art. This is an art class. The art class is at 6 p.m. But here's what I find interesting. Look at the energy level at 6 p.m. The energy is low at 6, but that's when the art class is. If you're in high school, you can't control that schedule. If you're a freshman in college, you really can't control that schedule. But sophomore, junior, and senior in college, you may have some influence over your schedule. Here's what you have to understand. When you get to art class, according to this example, your energy is low. Your energy is very low. So this may be a good time to take a drink into art class or recommit yourself in terms of focus, because you know my body is shutting down at 6. I don't know if that's because I had dinner at 4 or 5 and my body just coming down from the food I ate, or I'm exhausted throughout the day from the day and my energy is coming down. This is the biggest revelation. When I had a student do this, they begin to understand, like, wow, that's why I'm so sleepy. It's not the teacher, it's not the professor. I'm sleepy because my body is shut down. It has nothing to do with the art class. And students were coming to my office saying, it's the class, it's boring, it's the teacher's monotone, etc. That's not the case. The case is your body is shutting down because you've been going all day. But for some reason, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, your energy goes back up. Now here's what's interesting. Put down your homework time. Whatever time you think you're going to be doing homework, put that down. If you got a sport, so you know you're going to have to squeeze in homework somewhere. Here's what you got to understand. You're going to be asking your brain to perform at a peak performance time. All right? You're going to be asking your brain to perform. Let's look at this example. You're asking the brain to perform like it's 7 or 8 o'clock and it's actually 11. You're not going to get that out of your brain. This is why people procrastinate. This is why assignments don't get done. This is how people crash when they're studying and they're just falling asleep and they're eating all kind of unhealthy stuff to stay up. Your body is shutting down when you're supposed to be doing homework. You have to learn yourself in order to be successful. This exercise will carry you a long way, whether you're in high school or college. Again, just to recap. Now, another recap from last week. This was a great example, okay? You may not be into the colors and so on and so forth, but here's what I tell college students. You want anywhere from 25 to 30 hours, okay, of studying homework time to achieve a 3.2 and above. That is research. Yes.
You mean that like throughout the week?
Throughout the week. The green is homework The yellow is study time. You in 25 to 30 hours. Research says that's a lot of studying. Because in high school, many of us, you don't put that type of time in. Hour and a half at the most. When in college, you're going to have to upgrade that. And I'm going to show you real quick, because we got to get into today's lesson. I'm going to show you real quick how it's done. You have to take advantage of Sunday. Sunday is a great opportunity to regroup, catch up, fill in the blanks, all right, finish homework, or get started on some other homework. So on Sunday, there's 7 to 8 hours available for you. All right, high school students, that can come down to maybe 2 to 4. But college, 7 to 8 hours. You can still have your lunch. You can still take your walk. You can still go play basketball. You can still lift weights. You can still plan those things. Here's where college students mess up. It's the unplanned things that get in the way. And they extend longer than what they were designated for. One, they wasn't designated because it was unplanned, but if you happen to do it, you do it too long, and I'm going to show you. That's Sunday. Monday, we put in class, study, class, study. Most students, they mess around in between classes. They find stuff to do. You can knock out some math problems. You can knock out some vocabulary words. You can do some reading. There's things that you can do to get to that 30-some hours that you need to take advantage of. Say if you have meetings, go to your meeting. You got to challenge your group if you're in a group. You got to challenge your group. You're in a sport, that's going to be on the time schedule anyway, high school or college. Whatever you're doing, that's what the purple is, the purple of meetings. You got to be effective and efficient. We need to start on time and end on time because people have stuff to do. If you're in an hour here, between class, another hour and a half after that class, and then you put in some homework and study time in the evening, there's 4 to 5 more hours. Now you just hit 7, 6 weekend, now you have 4, you're already at 11. See, people don't realize, especially students don't realize that it's easy to get to those 30 hours. Here we are in 2 days and we're already at 11. We're almost, because half of 30 is 15, you're almost halfway there, and it's not even Tuesday yet. You repeat the same behavior on Tuesday. Depending on your schedule, college students, you gotta fill in the time that you're not in class with doing homework. Here's why. You're setting yourself up for corporate life. Corporate life, everybody functions primarily from 8 to 5. Anything after that is pleasure time. Here's what college students do and high school. We save all our energy for the nighttime. Well, here's the problem. I hope you see the conflict right there. We reserve our energy to do homework at night, and here's the problem. Our energy is coming down. So it's not quality. You're not retaining information. So here's what you got to do. If my peak performance time is at 7, I got another between 3 to 5. Oh, I'm really getting down around lunch. So guess what? I got to take advantage of studying and doing homework when my energy is medium to high. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we put a lot of pressure on the mind and the body while the body is shutting down. That's why we're not having success. Okay? Now, my gamers, video people. The problem, 2 problems. 1, we don't schedule it. And 2, when we start playing, we end up playing longer than we were supposed to. Schedule the gaming. Schedule the social time. Just say, hey, if your friends want to play, hey man, I'm available from 4 to 6. 2 hours. Next thing you know, people knock on your door in your room in college. Hey, you want to play? And now they're stopping by at 8. You got homework on your schedule, so you got to make a decision. Do you lose your friends because you don't want to play at that time? Or you say, yo, I'm busy. I got to knock out this homework. The problem with a lot of students, high school and college, is this is not scheduled. Schedule the gaming time. Okay? Now, we get to the weekend, all right, and you can kind of do the math. We can get 30 easy. Friday. People say, I ain't doing the homework on Friday. Listen, before you go out, before you go to the football game, if you're a cheerleader, before you cheer, there may be some things you can get done. And here's what I say when we think about that student life balance. Blue is social. I'm not taking it away from you. We're just regulating and designating our time. So the blue is social. Homework can be done before you go out. You can treat it as a reward. I'm going to get out, college students, I'm going to get out of class on Friday. I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to hit it hard for about 3 hours. And then I'm going to go do whatever. Kick it, hang out, watch a movie, spend time with someone, whatever. But it's in there. It's, again, college life, as well as for high school students, this is the balance you must have. You have to schedule these things. All right? Look what's back on the schedule for Saturday. More gaming. Go ahead and get it in. You can flip any of this. You can flip it around. You can study first and then gaming. All I'm saying to you is schedule it. All right? Remember, if you're watching for the first time, you can submit questions. I'll go back and read your questions. For my students, this is very helpful information. Now, today's new information. All right? I want you to write these things down. We're going to do some goals. And we're going to take some actual steps here. Okay? Here's how I want you to think about goals. When you think about a goal, we're going to think about the end. The end of the goal. And then we're going to walk backwards. Okay? Write that down. Goal, we're going to think about the end, and then we're going to walk backwards. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do on your paper is write down whatever goal you want. It can be an academic goal. It could be a GPA goal. It could be a particular class. It could be a sports goal. It could be a personal goal. It could be a spiritual goal. Whatever goal, I want you to write that goal. We can't do nothing if we don't have a goal. I'm going to give you some yes.
Just one goal?
One goal. Just for this example. Just one goal. Just one goal for this example. It could be a goal for the semester. It could be a goal for the year. I just want you to write down one goal. Now, we're going to break this thing down and I'm going to walk you through it. The next thing we need to do after we establish the goal, in this example, the goal is getting a 4.0 GPA. You may not be able to see it, but it's up there, trust me. The next thing we got to write down under our goal, okay, as a subheading is action strategies. Write down action strategies. How are we going to achieve our goal? I want you to take a few seconds to write down some action strategies. I'll give you some time. First, there's a goal, and then we're going to put down some action strategies. Remember, we have the goal, and we're walking it back. What do you need to do? In this particular example, this student A, won a 4.0 GPA. So here are a few action strategies. Manage study hours. All right, if I'm going to get a 4.0, I have to manage my study hours. Another action strategy, I have to get organized. Invest in a planner. Okay? Number 3, if I'm going to get a 4.0, I have to minimize my social activity. I didn't say not have any, but we need to minimize social activity. Number 4, identify the study habits that I need. watch this. If I'm gonna get a 4.0, I'm gonna have to put some time in. So I need to identify my places where I study, how much time I study, the 30 hours a week, all right, and how efficient and effective I am when I go to the library to study. These are just some examples of some action strategies, things that you must do to achieve your goal. Now, remember, we're walking back from the goal. Here's another thing that is so important that will contribute to your goal. What resources are needed? Look at your goal, and I want you to think about what resources. That can be physically, like people, or that can be financial, or that can be help on campus. In this example, student A wants a 4.0. So some of the resources that's needed to achieve that, they realize I need a library. I need a library. I need my books. So some people try to get through college without buying books. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Okay? 4.0 student identified that they need family support. I need family support to make this work. I can't get there by myself. I've been K through 12. I've been spending my whole life with my family and getting their encouragement and their feedback. Now, I'm not going to abandon that. So, you have a goal, and now you need some resources. Okay? What other resources you need? I need to be in contact with my advisor. All right? If you're a student athlete, you need coaches. If you're a student athlete, you need training. All right? You need a facility. You need a weight room. Okay? If you're just a student and you want to get an A in biology, some of the resources you definitely need a book. You definitely need a place to stay. You need to have a relationship with your professor. Okay? Now, here's the next one. Develop a timeline. You got to write down. We're gonna shrink this down. All right, there's 15 weeks in a semester generally. But since we're walking this back, we're gonna look at the first 5 weeks. So on that timeline, all right, draw a line on your paper. Okay? What are you going to achieve within the first 5 weeks? So on that line, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that represents the first 5 weeks of my timeline. And what are you looking to evaluate that I am moving in the right direction towards my goal? Here's some suggestions. Was I on time? Week 1, was I on time to every class? Was I on time to every meeting? All right? Was I on time to school, high school students? Or did I play around in the hallway? Okay? All of these things contribute to you being a 4-point student or reaching your goal. All right? Here's another thing. Maybe by week 2, identify your time wasters. So you got to look at week 2 and say, okay, yeah, I didn't have to stay in the cafeteria that long. I didn't have to be on my phone that long. Yeah, I watched that series on Netflix, and I was only going to watch one episode, but now I finished, I binge watched, I finished the whole series. You have to decide on your timeline what you're going to evaluate. So you have to write on your timeline, I'm going to examine how prompt I am. I'm going to examine how efficient I am. I'm going to examine how effective I am. And by week 3, have I been getting the best results out of my approach to my goal? So you evaluate on this timeline, okay? Timelines are usually when you get things done. We're looking at it the opposite way. What things get in the way from you getting things done, okay? You want to stretch this out 5 to 7 weeks, but because you want half of the semester, you should have a clear answer of what I'm doing well and what I am not doing well. I tend to lean on the things that are distractors as opposed to things that contribute well, okay? All right, and we'll come back to that. The next thing, going towards our goal, you got to journal. You have to write down You got to take notes. Here's why. You got to write about your experience. A lot of students see this as powerful, but they've never done it. Write about your experience. It's like learning while you're learning. Here's what that means. That means I'm going to write if I am being successful or not. My goal was to get an A in biology, but I'm not doing homework. I'm not showing up to class on time. I'm going to start journaling because I want to learn. I want to catch myself right now. I'm going to start writing like, yeah, I'm struggling right now. Or I'm doing really well right now. This person has become a distraction to me. It's week 4. You're getting to know people in your class, or you're getting to know people in your dorm, and you realize that this person is a good person, but they're a distraction for me. Okay? Failure. Failure. You got to be able to write about failure. You got to be able to write about some of the difficulties. Remember, these are all the things, the efforts and strategies and attempts that takes us towards our goal. We're just walking it back. All right? So write about your challenges, your failures, your difficulties, and your success. I want you to write about your success. You need to journal about how well you're doing with your plan. Okay? All right? Let's keep going. Yes. I believe every goal, a student athlete or just a student, whether you're in high school or college, you have to be able to make adjustments. So you have this 15-week goal to get a 4.0, and you realize by week 5 things haven't been as smooth. Don't give up on yourself. This is the time to go into your own personal huddle and just say, okay, I'm going to make some game time decisions. I'm going to make some in-game adjustments. That means I'm not waiting until the semester over. I'm making some adjustments right now, okay? Here's how you make an adjustment. You don't overlook small changes. This is huge. Write this down. Under adjustments, don't overlook small, write that down. Don't overlook small changes. What do you mean? I'm going to go to bed at 9 as opposed to 10. I'm going to get up earlier. I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to change my eating habits. Because the body needs nutrition. The body needs energy. So what you put in your body is very important. All right? It could be a small thing. You got to be able to, from an attitude standpoint, you have to be able to adjust and proceed. You can't get caught up on my plan is failing. You can't get caught up, I got a D on this paper. You have to adjust and proceed. If you have problem writing a paper, you have to seek help on how to write a paper. Whether it's someone in your family, whether it's your parents, whether it's a sibling, or whether it's a mentor, people are willing to help if you seek it out, okay? Adjust and proceed, all right? Don't get stuck. This is where people fail. They get so down on themselves to think they are a failure. Don't get stuck, all right? There are no disappointments, always opportunities. Write it down. There are no disappointments, only opportunities. Okay? Disappointments have so much weight to them and such a negative connotation that is carried with the word disappointment. We got to change that. Okay? Let's think of it as an underdevelopment. There's an area that may be a weakness. No, we're not going to call it weakness. We're going to call it an underdevelopment. It's still yet to be developed. It's not a weakness. It's not a disappointment. It's an opportunity to get better. It's an opportunity to improve. Okay? It's an opportunity to enrich and enhance what you're doing. Okay? Not something that is a disappointment. All right? Now, everyone needs an accountability partner. Get some water. Everybody needs an accountability partner. All right? Accountability partner. If you're going to be headed to this goal, okay, you need an accountability partner. No one achieves success on their own. I know your pride may say, so you can be able to say, I did it, okay? And for the most part, you are doing the work, no doubt. But I want you to understand, no one gets there without help. If your goal, whether you're a student athlete or just a student, if your goal is to get a 4.0, if your goal to get a 3.5, is your goal to get a 3.0, if your goal is to graduate, whatever it is, you need an accountability partner. That could be a family member, that could be a friend. Write down your accountability partner. Who are you going to lend yourself to be open to constructive criticism? That's what this is. Who are you going to be open to lend yourself and say, I'm open. I have signed you up to be my accountability partner, so I'm giving you free reign to give me feedback. All right? Do you have a mentor in your life? And there's 3 levels of a mentor or a mentor-mentee relationship. Okay? Here's what it is. You need people below you. And I'm not talking below as in arrogance. I'm talking people who may be younger, who look up to you. That's a mentor-mentee relationship. You need people equal as a peer, same age, same development roughly, okay? And you need people above you, okay? You need 3 levels of an accountability partner, all right? And you got to be willing to have a constructive conversation. Some people don't like feedback. Some people don't want to know how they're messing up. You need to be it. This is the most important piece to this whole puzzle for your goal, is an accountability partner. If you're with a team, you're going to get feedback, whether it's from a coach or a fellow teammate. If you're not with a team, you're still going to get feedback from a teacher, but it's going to come in the form of a grade. And sometimes that is too late. You need an accountability partner who's going to help you evaluate your energy line, who's going to help you evaluate and hold you accountable to what you put down on paper, what your goal is. And lastly, I love this, celebrate. Celebrate. A lot of students don't celebrate themselves. They don't celebrate their achievement. They don't celebrate they finish, cross the line. They cross the finish line. All right? You may go shopping. You may go out to a restaurant. All right? You may go to the movies. You may say, you know what? I'm going to spend a whole day of a spa. I'm going to do some yoga. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to go on a trip. Celebrate. It don't have to be extravagant. It could be something small. But I want you to learn how to celebrate your success. So important. All right? So, this is pretty much what we have tonight. All right? And I want you to think back and all your exercises that you've done tonight and the things that you have written down. I really want you to pay close attention to this managing goals piece. And remember how we started this, all right? I want to go here. This is so important to your goals. The energy line is so important to your goals. If you don't understand yourself, it's going to be difficult to achieve your goals, all right? Get organized. Put the time in, okay? Schedule the time that is social. Make sure your schedule, you get a planner. You have to get organized. A lot of students take for granted that they know it here. And in college, it's too much to take in all right here. Okay? You have to get some help. That help is a planner. Okay? It's too much going on. The homework assignments are too much. Things come on top of each other. And if you're a student athlete, it's double and triple that. Okay? Then we got to the goal setting and how to manage. A wonderful blueprint of looking at your goal and walking back. Let me just put it in simple terms what we have done tonight. We have looked at every possible hiccup in life that can get in the way with our goal. I'm going to give you an example. Something comes up in the family. Some change happens in the family, and you're on pursuit of your goal. Here's where that go. Just journal. Just journal about it. Oh, I didn't do well. I didn't do well on the test. I got a goal, and don't look like I'm going to reach my goal because I've been struggling on this test. Here's where that go. Make adjustments. So what we have done, I want you to think about, as we have walked backwards from the goal, what this outline has done for you is every possible thing that can come along the way, we have already talked about it. I'm going to do it again because I want you to get this. Everything that have come in your way that stopped you from reaching your goal, because we started with the goal and walked it back, we have already thought about it. You're on your pursuit of your goal. You're like, I need some help. We already did that. Because we proactively got an accountability partner. Okay? I want this goal, but I don't know how to get organized. I don't know what comes first and what I should be doing and how these things should flow. And that's what the timeline is for. So you have to understand what you have done tonight. We walked the goal backwards, but it was in reverse psychology because everything you face, we've already put it down. So if you follow this outline, I promise you, follow this outline, there are not too many things that's going to come your way that you have not dealt with. Okay? So important. So important. All right? Again, if you have any questions, my information, let's see if it's up here. Yes. You can email me. You can text me. Give me a call. All right? I want to be available for you because I want you to be successful in and out of the classroom. The things that you do outside the classroom will impact inside the classroom. So I hope this has been helpful information. I look forward to, I believe we're again next week as we come together again to share our next session. So have a great evening and thank you for joining in.